Hello YouTube, welcome to an operating system review where today we're going to be looking at a Pioneer from Microsoft, which was well popular back then, and still today a lot of people want to cling on it because it seems to have made, oh, I don't know, so much of an impact that people, they just don't want to let go of it. And from its early stages all the way to the end of support, this operating system has been the most popular success Microsoft has ever had. Anyways, as far as I know. And that operating system is Windows XP.
Good old Windows XP. 15 years of service. The official date that the support ended was April 8 of 2014. By now, I'm pretty sure the vast majority of us knows that. And, well, now it's 15... The operating system's 15 years old, and, yeah, it's about time we go around and look at it from day one. Released in October of 2001, this operating system, at first, was a piece of shit. Yeah, it was a piece of shit, alright. This was the first departure of Windows ME in 2000 and combining it into one operating system for both the professional market and the home market. So of course there was a lot of compatibility issues, especially if you got out of the Windows 9X kernels, and a lot of uproar actually came out of that, and of course there were stability issues and a lot more, and that was fixed later in Service Pack 1, but fixed a lot better in Service Pack 2. So to begin with, BAM! These are the requirements for all Windows XP editions, well, the main ones anyways. And as you can see, even though it says a Pentium compatible 233 MHz, 64 megs of RAM and 1.5 gig hard drive, if you did have 64 megs of RAM, it was operating like a pile of shit. And of course as well, in 2001, even a Pentium 2 400, for example, is kind of a bit of a stretch to get Windows XP going. I mean, it still works. You can still run your applications, everything all fine, but you notice a lot more lags than if you'd be running a, well, let's just say a 2 Aladdin Pentium 3. And that sucks because machines like that were about 3 to 4 years old, and yes, I know that technology was primitive, and yes, I know that not every, oh, how can I say that? Not every machine was up to par for all this stuff, but the problem is, machines like this cost around $2,500 back then, and a lot of people would get angry on that, but they made the best of it, and yada yada yada, so forth. You can still run Windows 7 with 96 megs of RAM on it, of course, if you're willing to wait like a frickin' decade. But, you know, that's the thing that I had a bit of a problem with, especially if it said you can run it on a 300 megahertz processor as a recommended configuration with 128 megs of RAM. Well, let's just say that 128 megs of RAM ran fine on the 2002 version without Service Packs, or Service Pack 1 at the latest. But anything higher than that, you would need a lot more memory than that, because I do remember Service Pack 2 and Service Pack 3 on 256 megs of RAM, as you can see in the Professional X64 edition, was already slowpoke already. That was pretty bad. Speaking of Professional 64-bit edition, as you can see here, you need a 64-bit compatible processor, no shit. 256 megs of RAM, as seen there, you're starting to understand the pattern that, yeah, they're getting their shit together. And 1.5 gig hard drive. These have been used when the AMD came out with their Athlon 64s, and Intel came out with their Cedar Mill later on, and I believe Prescott's also had 64-bit. Anything that had EM64T or AMD 64 in their flags in architecture, or basically a 64-bit CPU, damn it, you can run that one. And the last one down there, you need an Itanium 733 or an Itanium 800 or even Itanium 2s. Well, this version, you never saw these on the shelf. And even though they've been released, well, there were two releases in 2002 and 2003. Both of them died in '05 after HP released their last workstation Itanium-based system because Itanium now bit the dust. And of course, Itanium, don't get that confused, it is not EM64T, it is IA-64. Big difference. So you cannot run a 64-bit operating system like the 64-bit edition Itanium on your main machines and vice versa. And of course, Itanium will not run 32-bit applications at all. That's that big difference. And of course, you need a gig of RAM and 6 gig hard drive. It's pretty big, actually. So, where did the codebase begin? Well, the development of Home and Professional came on 2000, Windows 2000, that's it. And you've upgraded it in there. And what about the other ones? Well, 64-bit edition was based on Server 2003, which a lot of compatibility issues came by, so pretty much it bit the dust, even though it was foreshadowed. And the 64-bit edition was pretty funny. It came with the version 2002 came from XP, and version 2003, even though I did mention XP, it actually comes from Server 2003, which is pretty crazy. Or I'm pretty sure it could be Professional 64-bit edition. I'd have to correct myself on that. So, ME 2000, you get that? One operating system. Why did they do that? Well, they wanted to kill 9X for quite a while, and even though they attempted to get Windows Millennium away from DOS, it unfortunately caused a lot of severe bug issues and instabilities because 9X did require DOS as a background operating system or whatever it was supposed to be, while 2000 ran independent and used DOS commands if needed be. So they merged both of them together and came with XP. Here comes Windows XP based off 2000. 9X bit the dust. And also there are many advantages having Windows XP as in one operating system for both home and professional use. It costs less money to maintain, it's more efficient to maintain actually, it's easier for the developers, it's easier for bug checks, it's easier for everyone. So, you get a win-win, even though in the beginning Windows XP was a bit buggy. Speaking of that, what about the editions? Well, how many editions did it come from? Well, Home and Pro, but let's check out the real list. Kabam! Starter, Home, Media Center, Tablet PC, Professional, Professional 64-bit, and 64-bit only. Oh, that's 7 editions, alright. Even though they did begin with Home and Professional around here, I've never seen Starter. Media Center came by when Media Center was starting to get the thing, it was becoming a thing with TV tuners and camcorders and everything. Tablet PCs came by when a lot of laptops would turn into a tablet, even though it wasn't really a tablet. And 64-bit Professional was, you know why. This is the default background you'd be getting, as well as the default theme look. So, going in the properties, if you go in the appearance, you can get the Windows XP style blue, you can get it puke green, and you can get it completely robot or silver. A lot of people actually like silver more than others. You can also use the classic style if you did like Windows 2000. You can get it Windows Standard or even Windows Classic if you liked the Windows 98 feel. That's pretty cool. Another thing too is our new start menu, which was a big thing back then because we've never seen such a big change from the start menu. This new start menu actually came by when Microsoft was working on XP with the codename Whistler, and this start menu was introduced in Whistler before getting all polished and getting this beauty of start menu, which eventually came by all the way up to Windows 7 and then upgraded in Windows 10, and Windows 8 was a piece of shit, so let's not talk about that one. Who remembers Windows Messenger? Yeah, that's right. It actually came built in with Windows Messenger. And this is 4.7. I believe the beginning was 4.0. Oh, and when there you go, we're still running Windows Messenger. And there you go. Some of you who did remember the Windows XP Tour, you can get the animated features and everything, or the non-animated, which basically would take you to the Internet HTML that came with it. Bundled with it also came a very simple movie editor, which was Movie Maker, which I did use back then, a long time ago. I believe the NEC 486 actually was used with Movie Maker. I think I've made that with Movie Maker with my mother's old camera, the Minolta, which actually could record video with sound, but only up to 60 seconds. So I did have to, use that to make a movie out of it, or while a video. Shipped in also come bundled Outlook Express 6. And of course I don't have any, well, I do have an email account, but I'm not going to use it on that one. And here are all the files. I have no idea what this is doing here, but whatever. This never used to, that wasn't there before. Hitting MSN will get you copying files, and MSN installer, and there you go. I've never actually I never actually used MSN. Huh. And of course, if you did abort it, like I did, the MSN installer will be placed on your desktop, which I'll actually get rid of. Also bundled with are a lot of games. You can use internet, backgammon, checkers, heart, reversey, and spades, which would connect you to the, I think it's the Microsoft network, the game network. And yeah, you would play against opponents around the world, and you can just send pre-made messages, and there you go. Minesweeper, which was always Minesweeper. You click stuff and then you die. Of course, FreeCell still has that old Windows 3.1 look. That actually took a long time before it actually got upgraded in Vista. You got hearts, the big thing called Pinball, Solitaire, and Spider Solitaire, which was actually a new one. You can see. Done. You're ready to go. If you did have an older computer around and you bought a Windows XP machine back then, you can just easily use the files and settings transfer, and you would get, you can choose it from a new or old computer, and there you go. Is this your new computer or old one? It's your new, and then you would just go ahead and, well, you unblock that. You don't have Wizard Disk. I've already collected my files and settings from old computer. I'm pretty sure I don't have that, so I'll, direct cable, which would actually be a serial port or a crossover cable, or an example, a removable drive or a network drive, and then you'd basically go there and, yeah. And of course I can't access anything, so it ends right there. You can also use remote assistance, which was, there you go, invite someone to help you, and view invitation status. And of course, because the mainstream support ended way long ago, not 2014, but I believe it's in 05, well, you'd have to pay for that now. And now, because it's ended, well, screw you. That's what they're going to say, politely. Accessibility. We've actually even have a better accessibility options, like magnifier and narrator. We never had that before. Maybe in 2000 we did have that, but not in ME. We had more communications we even had more communications option, even the wireless network setup wizard, some entertainment, which sound recorder, mixer, and, well, Windows Media Player. You can back up your stuff. You can clean up your disk. You can defragment your disk. Security Center, which was included in Service Pack 2, which made a big thing. An address book, a calculator that Steve Ballmer went crazy on Windows 1.0, command prompt, notepad, paint, program compatibility wizard, remote desktop connection, which was actually a big thing. A lot of people would use this. I actually used it myself. You can sync your stuff. Again, Windows XP, Windows Explorer, which was basically file browser, and WordPad. This was the new control panel look and feel. It actually originated from Windows 2000 and Windows Millennium, but a lot of people would switch automatically to the classic view, and there you go. It's as simple as that. You would get automatic updates, security center, Windows firewall, network setup wizard. You'd get a lot of goodies in there. You can even add hardware that's not PNP or plug and play. Over time, Microsoft actually removed Windows Update to turn it into Microsoft Update, which would probably add updates for Microsoft Office and others. Windows Catalog, I don't remember what it was. Access and Default, which basically would use your default programs for, let's just say, songs, browser, email, and all that good stuff. So let's go check out Windows Catalog. Over secure, and there you go. Yep. Cannot find server or DNS error. Yep. So I'm pretty sure Catalog's dead. And why did you... I thought I closed you. You were able to change your pictures, which would actually bundle you with all this stuff. I've never really was a big fan of those pictures. Not because it was just... not, as in, like, it would take too much space. No. It's just that it was very... That's why I used the dog, because the dog seemed to have frickin' overtaken the camera lens over everything else. But as you can see here, you can see a dude in skateboard, you can see Jackie Chan, horses, a guitar, another frickin' flower, another one here, Crazy Frog, or whatever that fucking guy's name is, playing chess, an airplane, an astronaut, a soccer ball, a car or cart or Hot Wheels. Oh, look, you can go on vacation, a dirt bike that's ready to crash. For all of you duck lovers, yep. But you can also browse for more pictures, so that'd be useful. And of course, it came bundled with all these wallpapers as usual. I used to use a lot of Azul, for example. Bam, the beach feel. There's a lot and lots and lots of wallpapers I got through. A lot of people would use Windows XP background. Remember that one. And to finish off, let's just look at the system properties. This is Service Pack 3. It does see my CPU. Well, it is VM, so. And then you can see hardware, the drivers, the hardware profiles. You can change performance setting, so you can remove the shadows and everything, remove the smooth fonts, or disable the beautiful blue theme to just the classic Windows gray stuff. You can change the virtual memory settings like everybody else, well, like any other modern operating system can do. DEP, you can allow it. If you want to use remote assistance, you gotta have that thing checked. But if you don't want that, you can use remote desktop, and you'll have to check that because it is unchecked by default, so you can connect to your computer remotely. Automatic updates, you know what that is. And system restore, which you can turn it off and save 4.9 gigs of, 4.9 gigs of system storage. But system restore has been implemented in Windows Millennium and I believe Windows 2000. That's nothing new here. And let's finish it off with the updates. Security updates, Internet Explorer 8, security updates, security update galore, malicious software removal tool, and why the fuck would I install end the support notification? Really? It's dead, okay? You can just remove it. Like, seriously. See? The update is intended to notify customers of the Windows XP end of support date, April 8th, 2014. Which everybody now seems to get. The good old days. And of course you can safely remove hardware, but I won't really do that. I'm pretty sure this will blue screen my machine. And at long last, I think it's time to wrap things up.
So there we go. That's Windows XP from beginning to end. Hopefully this took you back into a little bit of a memory trip. Otherwise, if you're still running XP, well, you have to understand that there is a lot of security issues with it. And because Windows XP, after a while, even though you install applications and everything, Windows XP's performance will drop, as opposed to even having Vista doing things a little bit better, even though this thing was a bloated piece of shit. But Windows 7 actually shows that you can still run applications and games and suffer little lag rather than XP having a lot more lag, and Windows 2000 was even worse. So if you have any stories you would like to share with us, please feel free to leave a comment down below. And if I didn't look at something properly, or if I had my facts wrong a little bit, please also post that in the comments below. I'd like to be corrected. With all that said and done, until next time, take care.